Kendrick Lamar dropped a little bit of a bombshell over the week.
That's an
Not,
understatement.
not only announcing that he has a new album coming out, but kind of detailing where he is with his art, with his craft, and most importantly, with a label that he kind of came up with and brought up with, Los
Yes.
Angeles-based Top Dog Entertainment. So yeah, he released a statement along with a website in a kind of cryptic manner. Oklama, okay llama, whatever you want to call it. And there's a statement there. Sean, you have it right.
Yeah, I got it right here. So it states here, I spend most of my days with fleeting thoughts, writing, listening, and collecting old beach cruisers. The morning rides keep me on a hill of silence. By this side note, I was like, that's the most random thing ever, but whatever makes you happy, dog, it works.
Big LA
I go
vibes.
on, it's extreme LA vibes. I go months without a phone, I wish. Love, loss, and grief have disturbed my comfort zone, but the glimmers of God speak through my music and family. While the world around me evolves, I reflect on what matters the most, the life in which my words will land next. As I produce my final TDE album, I feel joy to have been a part of such a cultural imprint after 17 years. The struggles, the success, and most importantly, the brotherhood. May the Most High continue to use Top Dog as a vessel for candid creators as I continue to pursue my life's calling. There's beauty in completion and always faith in the unknown. Thank you for keeping me in your thoughts. I've prayed for you all. See you soon enough. And then Oklama, okay Lama. Whatever you
Yeah,
want to say. I
and
kind of
that's
wanted
like
to
a
say okay Lama because it's fun. And then there's a little picture of Kendrick in the studio, all mysterious looking, and it's all dark, and there's just some lights in the background because art.
yeah. So super lot to
Ain't
unpack
nobody
there.
prayed for me.
Lot to unpack
A
there.
lot, a lot.
So firstly, new album. Kendrick's in album mode, y'all. So sometimes you don't get warnings for that. So I'm
Strapping,
glad we
baby.
haven't noticed for that. That's great. Secondly, also very good. Secondly, not very good, but like very interesting. I mean, like I'll say it's very good that like some album breakups in rap have been story to be a little rocky.
That's an understatement.
This one seems to be like, publicly everything's on good terms. And it's like, I wish everyone well, but like I am on to do like a next thing over here. So God bless. It's his final album with TDE. He's not going to be renewing his contract or anything. And there's been this kind of discourse online that I didn't really feel was productive, but now definitely is in the forefront of like whether or not TDE is a dead label or not. And I find this discourse like kind of weird. But it was like, in music discourse, because these are things that sometimes we talk about, sometimes we don't. But now it kind of is there because
Kendrick is they're probably their biggest star on TDE.
yeah, is their biggest. Isaiah Rashad just dropped his project.
Mm-hmm.
Well received.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well received. We have yet to see really like chart major success from that though. SZA's supposed to be dropping something, and I think she's gone too because she's talked about some things with TDE that she hasn't liked that much. And then we go to Kendrick, who is the biggest on the label, and you have others like Schoolboy Q, J Rock, Absol,
So other
etc.
good
But like,
artists, but nobody who's going to chart nearly as much as Kendrick.
nor they really have like an active discography necessarily. So
No.
And it's unfortunate because they're all, like you said, Sean, great artists.
They're all fantastic. They're all of their albums that they've previously released, we've tend to enjoy too.
Yeah. TDE CEO Anthony Tiffith, aka Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, shared a note on Instagram, and it's literally like, screenshotted from like a screenshot because you can see the grid still on there. Anyways, it says,
it's just brilliant.
The whole goal when we started this thing was to make music, make money, and make history. We did these things 10 times over and then some. TDE and its artists have provided a way to end generational curses that we were all personally born into over the last 17 years in this business. With this being Dot's last album on TDE, this is more of a victory lap, a celebration. I know he will be successful in whatever it is he decides to do and will have our full support. As for Top Dog Entertainment, we will continue to grow, develop, and give artists the platform to expand into whatever way they choose. On heart, honor, respect, Top Dog. And so, with that, I'll just say, go ahead.
I think going forward, I think Top Dog can be a avenue for younger artists and stuff to get up into the ranks, but I don't think it's going to be an end label, if that makes any sense. So like almost like an underground, like I wouldn't say underground, but almost like an indie-ish label for kind of smaller hip hop rap artists and stuff to get through because they do have decent distribution and stuff, but they aren't one that you're going to want to spend your career with. You know, it's like you don't want to retire at SpaceX. You want to have somewhere that gives you an actual retirement shit. So you used to
Right.
go there when you're young, get experience, and then you go somewhere else.
I, I'm kind of get that as well, but also in TDE's defense, I'm not just saying this because like I have a really old ass TDE sweater or anything, and like the
And I remember that one.
label or
Yeah.
whatever. But like w- most artists go for independence ultimately. Like they go,
And
they
that's a
build their
super
shit, they
trend we're
get
getting.
big, and so
Yeah.
like I mean like you almost got to the point where Jay-Z was like, fuck it, I want my own streaming service. And that was like we learned that okay, you can't take it that
You,
far,
you
buddy.
can't
You
can't do
can't go
that.
that. Yeah, but
You can buy the NFL, but you can't buy a streaming service.
bars. Okay. And yeah, so like that is th- it's kind of an inevitability, and at least it's happening on good terms. But yeah, I think like usual, it is important for TDE to fill itself with new talent at this point. And fast, and they have to be bangers. It's not like TDE, especially because it's happening on like mostly good terms. And there's some like there's stuff with labels, but there's stuff with all labels that you hear about. Not to discredit it, but to say that like it's something you calculate when you're an artist and you think, wow, this is a label with some really major credibility and they really believe in me. I might like take that seriously and consider having them or like signing with them. Maybe I do like a two record, three record deal with them, and hopefully that like sort of supercharges me up a little bit. I think that isn't without the with away from the frame of boundary for a lot of people, for a lot of artists to consider, really.
Yeah. And another thing too is what you said going on what you said previously. A lot of artists and stuff like to go, especially recently, like to go on their own. They like to now have full control, creative control of whatever they want to make. And Kendrick is a real artist. He likes to make as much art and everything as he wants to do. So not having, I mean, TDE isn't a terrible label or anything, but not having that pressure and stuff, or having that contract of you have to make a certain amount of stuff to be able to grant you the freedom to be able to roam and do whatever you want is very important for a lot of artists. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kendrick does after this release, and to see if he goes with another label or if he goes independent after. And then that will have, I think, a big sway in a lot of hip hop, rap, trap artists and stuff, and for years to come, because he has such a like a gravitational pull of him because he's such a big artist. Others can get ideas from him and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Kendrick's superstar level. He can do fashion. He can do
Yep.
art galleries. Sky is the limit for him, and so it's really what he decides he wants to do. Last point on this, we did a Kendrick Lamar bonus
Yes.
episode, Audioface 156 bonus. You can check it out wherever you get
Wow.
podcasts or on youtube.com/audiofacepod. It's
156 bonus almost a year ago. Jesus Christ. We were talking about that a year ago, saying, you know what, we should probably do a bonus episode. Just have it here in case Kendrick releases some shit a year later. Oh,
yeah,
worked
a
out.
year later at the ready, just at the random, it could happen. That's how the music industry works.